that word means.
It's a pachinko video game.
I don't know why you would play a pachinko simulator game. It's just like you're not winning anything.
It's like it's, that's such a strange concept to me. I don't
It makes
even.
it feels like you're just addicting people who don't normally play patchy slot into playing patchy slot, which is probably the intent.
I'm just looking at this fucking trailer, and it's just. Oh my god.
Yeah, the PSP one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh.
it's literally a slot machine.
Yeah, that's what that is. You can
So,
play this slot machine on the go and win and lose nothing. There are pictures of girls in bikinis and lions for some reason.
so, a quick question.
Uh huh.
Do are we actually doing the podcast? We've been under the whole COVID thing. Do we have anything significant to talk about?
I don't know. I guess we're finding out now because, I already hit the record button, so I guess we'll
Yeah.
see how
Ah,
things go.
yeah.
Oh, there's live action scenes too. Great.
Yeah, there's live action scenes of the girl dressed like the anime character in the patchy slot game for your PSP.
You gotta win big to get that. You gotta be a high roller to get the real girls.
This makes me think of when I was playing Grand Blue, and then I just stopped playing Grand Blue and started playing the casino in Grand Blue.
Welcome everybody to Fandom Flux episode 298, where we talk about pachinko all day.
I like pachinko as a concept. It reminds me of the those things with the pusher things where you put coins in and he pushes them down onto like a pusher thingy and you try and get it to push money off of the edge.
I know what you're talking about, but you could not have described that worse.
I don't know what they're called. I don't think anyone knows what they're called. We call them 2p machines over here because usually it's 2 pence pieces that you put in there.
Oh, so hi everybody.
Hi.
We are the Fandom Flux podcast. I am Zero, the person who just spoke earlier and sounds British as Casey, and then we also have Patient, the calming one.
Yay.
Um, everybody's in lockdown right now, and if you're not in lockdown, I feel very sorry for your state, or otherwise very happy for your country if you're managing to do a good job of combating it.
Yeah, fucking what was it? Slovenia? I think it's Slovenia. Just announced they've completely lifted the lockdown. They can do whatever they want because they've got like no cases anymore.
That's
They topped out at about 1,000 something, and now they've got basically none. So they're just doing whatever now. Good for them.
very good for them, yes. Whereas, uh, let's not talk about. I'm not going to bring it up.
Instead, let's talk about how Nintendo decided that now is a good time to drop the new Paper Mario trailer.
It is a pretty good time for that. I'm not gonna lie. That's good timing.
And I was really shocked by this. It's called Paper Mario and the Origami King, and
Because
it's coming out in
paper.
July.
Oh,
Yeah, literally just 2 months.
hmm.
And it actually looks really interesting because I didn't like the last few Paper Mario games because they were just awful to play. Paper Mario Sticker Star, for example, all of your actions in combat were resources. and there was no experience. There was no reason to ever fight in a battle.
I mean, that's just trying to put out a good message, right? It's like Undertale, except not.
Except the game forces you to fight in battles.
No.
And you want to fight the bosses? Well, here's what you do. Here's how you fight the bosses in Sticker Star. You go and you find an object that looks like it came straight out of the real world, like a fan. You use the object as an item in battle, and it basically just ends the boss.
That's really depressing.
Let's look past the faults of past Paper Mario games and look with optimism for the one that's coming out soon.
Now,
personally,
Go ahead, patient.
I'm getting there. I just want to explain the tragic past of the past few Mario games, Paper Mario games, of which there was Sticker Star, Color Splash, which I heard had good writing, but it still had kind of crappy combat, and then Paper Jam, which was the Mario and Luigi crossover, which I found boring.
So in short, wait for it.
So in short, Paper Mario: The Origami King looks amazing.
Zero. And it looks super great. Eager to talk about this game, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm cutting people off. I'm really excited. It is. I've done a lot of research. I've looked at a lot of things. I have nothing else to do. So, number one, the game does have partners in it. Again, your companions, your other party members, they are in it.
He has a list.
I can't confirm that because there was a Chinese trailer which had showed one of the partners in battle that was deleted by Nintendo. The combat system has a new sort of ring combat system. So what you do is before you choose your attack action, you can rotate the kind of battle arena, like it's made of several rings, and you can rotate the rings to line up enemies to do attacks that attack an area and to maximize damage to your enemies.
Welcome everyone to Fandom Flux 298, where we dissect a minute-and-a-half trailer for all day.
Yeah, Zero's going full, like, internet historian sleuth kind of stuff. Like some kind of cyber sleuth.
Digimon Cyber Sleuth is a great game. Go play it.
It was alright.
Yeah.
2-minute trailer for the record.
Alright, we got to get the details accurate, or none of this will be admissible in court, because apparently that's as deep as Zero is apparently going.
I'm saying that it looks fun, and I haven't seen a Paper Mario game that has looked fun in a long time, and that makes me happy.
I will put it on my list of games that I would like to play, but probably never will get around to.
I'll let you know how it is.
Thanks.
I still need to get around to playing the classic Paper Mario, and especially Thousand Year Door.
Those are both still very good. I have a few problems with just like I've beaten Thousand Year Door and the original Paper Mario like 3 or 4 times each. I have a few problems with some of the levels in them, but otherwise they're still very great. Also, since I guess I took control of the flow of the podcast.
More or less, yep.
Sorry.
Go for it.
I actually finally have created and now have a gig up on Fiverr for voice acting and voiceover.
Oh, that's very good.
So I'm hoping to get some jobs in there. Right now it's looking to be like $5 per 150 words. Um, Relatively easy for me, and I've been playing around with Audacity, learning how to do some new effects. I can now make my voice sound like I'm an AI through some editing magic. That's really fun.
Cool. Is like that sort of a standard rate for voice acting?
Yeah.
Cool.
On Fiverr at least. I'm probably charging less than a lot of the other people on there. Kind of going for the bare minimum because I need I need a portfolio more than I need the money, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I
that,
know the feeling.
that's how it is for pretty much anything in regards to hiring yourself out, really.
Hmm. And 150 words is less than half a page, so it's not that hard. I
Yeah.
can do that pretty easy.
Assuming it's not, Super Saiyan 3 screams or anything crazy like that.
But they can do things like say, "Oh, I want 1,000 words," and I'm like,
I would
"Okay,
I would pay
that
good money
will
to hear Steve try to do a Super Saiyan 3 scream.
please pay me money."
What's your ID on Fiverr, by the way, so that things might happen?
Uh, I'll link it, sure. Um, After the podcast,
Alrighty.
but I've ordered a Blue Yeti Pro mic that's set to arrive near the end of the month. That will drastically increase my audio quality and is more professional
Yep.
because I do want to do this for a living. Um, Trying to get it set up on some other websites for voice acting as well, but there's a lot that goes into that, and the main problem I'm running into is describing my good qualities and my experience. It can be a bit tough to market myself, I guess, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So nice high quality mic coming soon. Um, really excited about that, and I know that once the link gets dropped and once the guys in the freaking Discord see it, I might get some jobs.
Maybe. Might happen.
But yeah, that's currently where I'm standing on that. And also, again, Paper Mario, yay, happy. Um, I saw a movie that my mom really wanted to see it. It was a movie based off this old TV show. It's called Fantasy Island.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
God. I think we
I never
both recognized that at the same time.
I never I never saw that series, but I saw the Looney Tune movie that was based on it, and I looked up the original series as a result. So eh, be careful what you wish for, basically.
I
So
I
Fantasy
can't
Island.
remember anything about that show except for maybe the first minute of every episode where there was
The
the little
plane.
guy that would shout at his white-haired, handsome, and with amazing hair boss, deplane, deplane.
The midget being named Tattoo.
That was it. Thank you. It was blanking on, but yes, thank you.
Yes, it's the same thing that my parents were kept referencing. The plane. So Michael Pena, aka Lewis from Ant-Man, is uh, the, the 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 guy who runs the island, Rourke or something, right?
Sounds
Mr.
right.
Rourke. So he runs the island, and these 5 people come to get their fantasies fulfilled. And as it turns out, things start to go south pretty quickly. But the island has established rules, one fantasy per person, and you must see your fantasy out to its natural conclusion. It's actually I liked it a lot. It had some surprising twists in it, and I liked the characters. It's not like a 10 out of 10, but it was a solid movie night. Just to see all these people friggin' how their fantasies were realized and getting to know what the craziness of this island is. Yeah, it was just a fun little story. I would recommend it. It's like what they were watching on like Amazon Video for like $4. It's worth $4. Aside from that, the classic line, which I must always say.
Yeah. Also, you're a little quiet. Maybe move up on the mic.
Sorry about that.
Ah.
See, I can be louder.
You can and should. I just had your volume way up because you were quiet.
Okay. Well, been playing more D&D obviously and DMing and such.
Yep.
And I'm keeping busy because I am still working, and we are getting very busy at work because there are, again, very few restaurants open, so lots and lots of chicken.
Yep.
Lots of chicken. People trying to feed their families. So it's very good for us over in the U.S. For KFCs because we have drive-thrus. And drive-thrus are allowed to be open.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there really wasn't. Again, everybody's in quarantine, so there's not really going to be much. But I'm making progress with the voice acting thing and Paper Mario, Paper Mario, Paper Mario. I think that Nintendo is going to drop more trailers stealthily and not do an actual direct because nobody's around to really do a direct. Unless they do the Microsoft thing where they just Zoom chat.
The world is weird.
I'm not really excited for that Xbox Series X thing.
I don't think anyone is. But that's, the downfall of being number 3 in that whole race this gen.
Like, they showed a bunch of games, but did any of you guys really care for them?
I didn't watch it, so I don't know. Like, I have enough games that I'm not playing. I don't really need to buy a machine to play more games that I'm not playing. Also, they just release stuff on PC now anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's... If anything, I'll get the PS5. Because they tend to just have more games in general.
PS3 would disagree, but yes. It depends on how shit the companies decide to be for this rotation. Because, Gen 7, Microsoft were the big guys who did the right things, and Sony were the shitheads that decided to have an overpriced piece of crap that was miserable to develop on. And now we have Gen 8, where it's basically the opposite in every fashion. So nothing's stopping things from reversing again, where... I don't know, maybe the fucking Switch just stays on top and no one cares about these new gigantic machines that just have all their games released on PC anyway.
Yeah, looking at the things that were shown, like Xbox Series X has Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dirt 5, Madden 21, Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I'm like, oh, I wanted to play that. Vampire the Masquerade 2, as well as stuff like the Medium, Second Extinction, the Ascent, Scorn.
Gorn
None of
is
those
pretty.
really seem to, except for like Yakuza, none of those really seem to make me want to look at an Xbox.
Yeah,
Especially when all that
I
stuff's going
wouldn't
to come
rush
to
out to
PC
buy an
anyways.
Xbox to play Gorn, but Gorn is also on PC, so yeah.
So, Switch is still going strong, despite not having any major first-party games, except for like there are very few of them so far this year, and I think that also COVID is delaying a lot of things. But
Yeah, everything is going kind of a little sluggishly, let's call it.
we are getting the remake of Xenoblade 1, which I'm very excited for. I'm a little bit less excited now that I've learned that apparently they didn't really fix the AI of some of the party members, which upsets me. But we'll see.
No, it's authentic.
And
You need to be dumbasses.
I don't want the healer to stand and watch me die.
That just says a lot about her character, really.
And
Secret thoughts that you're not even understanding because she doesn't say them out loud. Why would she? I'm assuming it's a she because it's JRPG.
yes, she's a healer with a sniper rifle. She shoots bullets that contain ether, and she can basically snipe you and heal you.
Okay. Don't really know what to do with that, so I'm just gonna let it slide.
Yeah. Gun healing. I read this manhwa recently in which this guy has the ability to heal, but he heals people by punching them.
I mean, that's just Josuke, though. That's what that is.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
I think that healing by causing physical violence is the way to go.
I feel like that started with the fucking medic with the heal gun, but yes. TF2.
I've been watching a lot of videos now that I'm just home all day, and I've been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see him yell at people who are mean and incompetent and don't treat their staff correctly.
Hell's Kitchen then? Kitchen Nightmares. Yeah.
A little bit of Hotel Hell thrown in there as well.
God. He's done a lot of shows.
He has. He's still making more.
Yeah, I mean, he's good at it. Why wouldn't he?
And obviously been watching some Hell's Kitchen because yeah. Also just I started on like a small binge of videos of cop impersonators being caught and arrested by real police. Because it's just nice to see justice.
Okay.
And it's like these cop impersonators. It's like you get these big like overweight guys who just like, yeah, I'm a. Well, actually no, I'm a volunteer. And they just crumble beneath like the like glare of the actual police officer. It's just like, no, you can't do that. What you're doing and running those lights on your car and pulling people over, you can't do that.
It depends on the state, but yes.
Especially because, as it turns out, a lot of these guys either have false credentials or are going way outside the bounds of what they're allowed to do.
I mean, they'd probably be fine in this country because we actually do have volunteer police, and that's actually a thing. But, you know.
Not it. We have specific things with trainings and other sort of things you have to go through to actually be able to do all the things that a police can do. And failure to complete those trainings and, running around with a gun, that's no bueno.
Yeah, that probably helps that we don't have police with guns just in general. That's. Yeah. The difference between a volunteer and an actual police officer is probably the legitimate authority to put someone in the back of the car. That's about it.
That's still terrifying, though. Being put back in the car by somebody who's not really a police officer.
Yeah, kind of.
And yeah, so basically, I watched a lot of videos of bad people getting yelled at by good people, or at least
I
more
can't
right
imagine
people.
why you would want to do that.
Yeah, it's not like I feel the need to yell at bad people right now. It's an outlet.
Yeah,
It's an outlet.
let's call it that. Yes. Catharsis, one might say.
Yes. That's my week.
Okay. Hey, patient, you worried that we might not have much to talk about, so you want to go and say and stuff the things you might have to talk about? I don't know whether you have stuff.
If I bring up a concern like that, what makes you think I have anything significant to talk about?
I mean, I didn't want to say, hey, you probably have nothing, so shut up and fuck you. That seemed rude, so I thought I'd ask.
Not my type, Casey.
So, how's it going? You good?
Yeah, things are going about as well as they can be. The Crossbrain's latest act of trolling was to update our April Fool's chapter with snapshots of where the Straw Hats are after their separation and never telling our fans that we had updated as such.
I feel like I read that already.
Well, I said it was the latest thing we've done. I didn't say that we just did it.
That's fair.
Working on the next chapter. Progress is slow for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And work, you know my new schedule for work, and I am going to maintain hope that things remain as closed as possible, because A, that's the sensible thing, and B, it means I don't have to go out and solicit at other places, which in turn means that they can't hold anything against me for not bringing in more accounts every.
Yeah, that seems like a very poor use of the workforce, just for the sake of keeping the workforce, if anything. Like, hey, go out and go interact with as many people as you can in a short period of time as you can. It seems like a good way to get a lot of your employees off sick.
Go get more accounts in a financial crisis.
I mean, that's what I'm coming from, and it's why for the past 2 months they've waived the requirement for us to hit our quotas for the month. And for the past couple, they've canceled having to go out to other businesses. So it's pretty much impossible for us to hit our quotas anyway. Of course, they are waiting until the last week of the month before they confirm that we don't have to hit our quotas, just so you know we're still trying. And of course, layoffs are everywhere.
14%.
What was that?
14%. That's about what the unemployment rate is right now.
Yeah.
That's a thing I haven't even looked at.
So yeah. I work most of the day. I come home and relax as much as I can. On weekends, I spend most of the day in enjoying not having to go to work and being able to relax. That's what my life amounts to right now. Work 5 days a week, rest 2 days a week.
I just looked it up, and apparently the UK don't have as regularly calculated unemployment rates as America do. You guys do it friggin' weekly. I think the most recent I can get is February, which is, ordinary. So that's not really telling me anything. Probably not great, though, just as a guess. Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah, we kind of
Have you
need to
ever
do
felt
it
like you're
weekly.
a 0-0?
Oh, what?
You both said hello, hello. Have you ever felt like you're a 0-0?
I don't know what that would feel like.
I feel like a reference just went over my head, so I'm just going to push on. So, yeah. What's my thing? How long have we been going? About 30 minutes? That's fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You're just checking the time now? Are we at that point?
I mean, I was as worried as Patient was that we'd have nothing to talk about, but yeah, the past 2 weeks have been pretty nice, actually, all things considered. I have only had the 1.5 commission running for the past 2 weeks. Once every other week, so half. Because the one that I've had for the longest didn't get back to me for a week about reopening the commission that he wanted to do. He has since, literally today, so that's fine. That's nice. But yeah, that basically gave me what felt like 2 full weeks off, even though they weren't off because I was still having to do work with Patreon and the other commissions that were still running. But time to do things was nice, and time to just relax and not think was also nice. Somehow that got me from playing Persona 5 until it got frustrating having to deal with like the time management thing that I didn't want to deal with at the time because it was too much thinking. So I just went back and played Spyro the Dragon again. That was a good relaxing.
Turn your brain off.
Yeah. Just
Play some Spyro.
yeah.
Spyro is fun, except for Treetops.
Treetops is the most fun when you know what you're doing.
Point taken.
Like that is the most fun level when you figure it out, but until then it is misery. I agree. Yeah. So that was fun. I 100%ed that for the second time. Then Spyro 2, I am like 80% of the way to finishing that one also. But then I had the Patreon thing that needed to get done, which I did today after planning it out, because it's one that I had not planned out as well as some other stories that I have. So, but it came out well, so that's fine. What was I doing? I talked on the podcast about listening to Post Malone finally and realizing he's really fucking good.
I don't think you've talked about it before.
Yeah. So I listened to like Post Malone's second album, and he's really fucking good, despite
Nice.
some odd song name choices.
How do you mean?
There is a song called Zack and Codeine. Codeine is in the drug. Yes, that is a Sweet Life of Zack and Cody reference. Singing about drugs.
Okay. What other things are there? It's just like if we got the Sweet Life of Zack and Codeine.
Mm-hmm.
Phineas and Meth? What else is there? Phineas and Herb. There we go.
Phineas and Herb. That's actually really good. That's really good. Okay, yeah. And also, there's a song that is probably my favorite. I don't know what kind of genre you would call it, but I constantly refer to it in my own head as a thugabye. Because it is a lullaby with, like, hip-hop trappings of bitches and cars and money. It's really weird, but it kind of works. Oh. It was a really weird discovery that I like this album because there are some stupid fucking things in it. But yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You can take that one, Post Malone. Phineas and Herb. There you
go. Yeah, that's a really good name. Anyway, it's probably on one of his demo tapes. Probably got to it before you. What else have I done over the past couple weeks? I don't even fucking know. I bought what was it called? 2 Points? I think it might have been called 2 Points. I'm gonna double check. Just bear with me. 2 Point Hospital. That was it. It was on sale on Steam, and I was like, I miss Theme Hospital. I'll spend £25 on nostalgia. So I did. It's pretty alright. It's very Theme Hospital, complete with diseases that are comical in nature, like lightheadedness, which is literally the person comes in with a light bulb for a head.
That's pretty funny. That's a pretty awful disease, though.
Yeah.
Thinking about how that works on a biological level disgusts me.
Theme Hospital did very similar things with, like, God, what was it? I forget what it was called. It probably had a punny name, the same as lightheadedness, but it was like, the head would inflate, and the treatment for it was to have it popped and then just sort of reshape back into a regular, ordinary head. It was quite grotesque for a 640 by 480 resolution cartoon, but you know.
Body horror right here.
Yeah. That was a Molyneux joint. The Fable guy.
Really?
Bullfrog Games, yeah. I think before EA bought them. Was it EA? Was it Microsoft? I don't fucking remember.
Did Peter Molyneux promise that the diseases would be like nothing you'd ever seen before?
I mean, he would have been right, but I don't think he was the lead game designer on it. I think he just worked for the company at the time. Yeah. Anyway, so that was fun. I've only put like a couple hours into it so far, but it's pretty solid. Uh, played some tabletop simulator with the people on Discord. That was fun. Playing Secret Hitler. The secret is buy fresh is always Hitler. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Really?
It
He went that aggressive?
No, it just worked surprisingly well for me just to try and convince everyone that he was always Hitler. Especially the couple of times that I was Hitler. So, that's it's a fun game. I enjoyed it very much.
Obviously, Bifresh.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other things I did, but I don't think I really did that much. Just and another commission will probably be happening sometime soon. That they want a Dragon Ball Power Fantasy wankery fest, which, yeah, okay. So that's a thing that will probably be happening in a couple of weeks' time, I think.
Yeah.
See how that goes. Hope it goes well. I know the setting pretty well, but not amazingly, like, constant power level calculating levels of well.
I don't think power levels really matter that much.
They don't. That's kind of the point of them, but that's the danger, because I'm going to write a story on QQ, and I know within the first page there will be what's the character's power level.
To which you reply with, "What's your power level? Fight me."
That's fair, because, I'm a half-blind guy. That means my power level should be pretty fucking high. Because that's how narrative works.
Yeah.
He seems like he has to be harmless. I mean, he has a disability. There's no way he could be... Oh, shit! Yeah. That's how that works.
Anime.
Yeah.
You've been training your whole life and you didn't even know it.
Yeah. Go figure. Yeah. I think that's it, though. That's pretty much all the stuff. I'm going to be working my ass off next week because, like I say, that commission picked up again. And I've also got the, bi-weekly thing that will also pick up next week. And then the other one that I'm still going on. And then the Patreon thing that also needs to get done. So it's going to be another busy week. And then I get a bit of a bit more time off the following week. So just kind of bracing for that. That's how that goes.
The good news is, because everybody's home, there's at least a lot more possibility of getting those online jobs,
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing, I am super hyped for groceries now, and it's very weird to say that.
Okay.
Like, it's a hardship getting groceries delivered nowadays for obvious reasons. So it's like, okay, I get a grocery delivery. Okay, the next slot is open in a week. Okay, thank fuck I managed to get one. Even though it's in a week away from now, but that's fine because it means I get a slot and I get food delivered. That's great. Okay. And then I edit my cart like 5 times between the day I order and the day it's supposed to arrive because, wait, I might never get a chance again. I need to order more things.
That's what my parents have been doing.
Yeah.
We already, stocked up on a lot of things early on. And now we're just kind of picking up what we need.
Yeah. Like, the absolute necessities I'm stocked up on because of the parcel deliveries that the government are doing because I can't leave the house.
Yeah.
But, like, just getting good like, let's call it luxury foods, even though it's just fucking cereal and like ready meals and frozen pizzas and shit. That's luxuries to me right now, because it's just stuff I can't get unless I get these deliveries through. And it's very exciting to be able to get those every now and again. It's just how it is now, I guess. It's fine. You know, I guess
Yeah.
it's making me appreciate the whole modern society and infrastructure and everything. It's
Yeah, were it not for our society of coming to this point, when this hit, this would be a lot worse.
oh yeah,
If this would have hit 20 years ago, this would have been very, very bad.
good God, can you imagine the government trying to tell people to stay home for how long's it been? 8 weeks without streaming services or video games?
That sounds like a good fan fiction idea. No, not necessarily fan fiction. That could be
Fiction
uh,
idea.
too bad taste while the pandemic is still going. Possibly.
Probably, yeah. But
I'm telling you right now, what we're looking at is the next 20 years of fiction.
Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
I can imagine a pandemic story set in the Gen X era, like the fucking 90s, where everyone's fucking ironic and pretends to be depressed, but they're all constantly sunny and upbeat about everything, and then they get hit with this just out of nowhere.
There are kids right now who this is a major part of their childhood,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
this is going to affect how they develop and how they grow. It's already a hard enough time trying to get schools to, function. Um, a lot of schools right now are currently in debt because the states are in debt. And so when the states need to cut back on things to try to save money, education's usually on the chopping block.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of kids are zooming or using the internet, but a lot of people are too poor to have internet. And you run into situations in which there are some kids who are just missing out on education right now as people are scrambling to try to get them situated. The human side of this whole thing is what makes it so tragic. And I know that I'm saying something very obvious, but when you look at the individual small parts, not just the deaths, but how every aspect of this is affecting every aspect of everyone's life, it's multifaceted.
We're closing in on summer.
Mm-hmm.
So when the second wave of this hits, and it will, it'll already be summer. So at the very least, the schools will not be as big a concern anymore.
Yeah. Though some schools are, my mom's a teacher, so she's worried about whether or not she'll have a job in the fall.
Yeah, the way this is going to shake out is hard to predict. I would say, but this is coming from a British perspective, I would say I would find it hard to believe that they would try and scrimp on education when the asshole just fell out of the educational system and everyone's realizing, holy shit, this was actually important.
Well, here's the thing.
But then it was, you literally mentioned like 5 minutes ago, we've been scrimping on education for decades, and that sounds asinine to me. That sounds like the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
So You ready for some grade A dumb? Because there's so many online classes, because classes have been converted to online out of necessity. Should they continue with an online approach? They're going to need a lot less teachers, because one teacher can handle a lot more students if it's in an online environment. And it's especially really hard for kindergarten, because one of the key things about running a kindergarten class is forming a relationship with those students and helping them learn what school is and what it's like, and instilling that sort of basic discipline, which you can't do through a screen.
Yeah.
So a lot of jobs are going to end up being lost because, again, in the world that we live in, education is not considered the top priority. So those kids right now who are going to have to either fight for that education or be denied it for a period of time, if they grow up and they write stories as what they choose to do, we're going to see some very interesting fiction, because fiction is something that is very reflective of the times and experiences of the people who write it. So who knows what the future's going to look like.
So, on that sobering note,
get ready for 20 years of zombie video games.
Again?
2 more decades. 2 more decades.
Right then, any recommendations?
Don't worry about it, Zero. The fucking Last of Us 2 will kill it. There'll be no more zombies after that.
I looked at the spoilers and that was bad.
Yeah. So, not the best. Alright. So, anyone want to shout anything out? Zero, I need you to link to the thing as well. The Fiverr.
Yeah, I'll link to that. Let me get that. I don't have any. I haven't read any.
Patient, you got anything?
I do have one story that I just tentatively like to recommend. There's
Cool.
not enough of it out yet that I can say for sure whether it's going to be good, but I definitely don't see anything showing that it's going to be bad. So, Persona 5 fanfiction, time travel base. So, final boss takes out all of the Phantom Thieves except Joker. Joker gets a second chance, the game as it should have been in the first place. And so he's sent back in time to the day he arrived in Tokyo, except that now he's in the timeline of Persona 5 Royal. So basically, new game plus Joker from Persona 5 in Persona 5 Royal. So, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, but like I said, story's still young. So we'll see what happens with it.
Cool. Zero. Link. Fiverr. Zero.
Wait. I do have one other. This one is just pretty much purely a crack fic, but it's too hilarious for me to not put on here. Just a second, where is it? Another Persona 5 fake challenge accepted. Basically, Joker goes out of his way to drive Sai and Nijima completely and utterly insane during their interrogation. One shot's just a hilarious read.
Okay.
I have to look at some of these. I got the time.
Pretty good.
Are you reading it right now?
I'm skimming it. Yeah. All right. This is pretty. Fucking Christ. Okay. Every detail. All right. Yep. All right.
Oh
so,
yeah, no, this one's funny. I like this.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted. Okay.
All right. So that's the episode. If you want to get in contact, you can do so through the YouTube channel, through the comments, but don't, because it sucks, because YouTube is shit at everything. Algorithms, not... We don't fucking care anymore. Better option would be the public Discord, link in the description. Please do it on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, link in the description, or go through charities for food banks, which are important, or any other service or important facet of our society that is currently struggling, because, you know, that's kind of a thing that you should help out with if you can. Once again, thanks for listening and stuff, and bye.
Bye.
Rabbits.